Greetings, this is the Timeshare Traveler. Today is episode 185. Why I like Worldmark Club Wyndham. So in an overview, there's lots of locations with the combination of two, and you have access to them because of the next thing, which is the Club Pass. But also there's Vacasa, which makes it really expanded. It's almost like having a mini Airbnb in addition to the Club Pass. The other thing I really like is from the timeshares that I own, they're really known as the low cost from a maintenance cost. So it's really great if you're like traveling on a budget, this is your place. The other thing is they have some really cool sort of other ways to book that you don't require the points. You can do it with cash. Two of them they call them. One of them is Monday Madness, and the other one is Inventory Specials, which is really more the close-in stays, sort of last-minute specials. And then lastly, they have hotels, RCI, and other things as well, so I'll talk about that. But before I get into all of that, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my channel, and I'll be right back, and I'm going to go into each one of these in detail. Hang in there. See you soon. Hi, this is Cliff, and I'm the Timeshare Traveler. Welcome to my channel. The purpose of my channel is to educate those who love traveling in timeshares. I've been an owner for 15 plus years at timeshare ownership. I have elite ownership with Marriott, Hilton, and Worldmark. I have published over 100 timeshare video reviews, and I've published over 95 timeshare tips. I can be found on Facebook at Timeshare Trav, at Twitter, Timeshare Trav, and on the web at www.timesharetraveler.com. Well, he's back. First thing I talked about is more locations. Yeah, there are more locations when you combine Worldmark and Club Wyndham. You have 200 plus locations because via Club Pass. And that's a recent change. It used to be really complicated, much more complicated. I shouldn't say really complicated to use. So now it's just $49 and you can do it yourself online. So that makes it great. So you can actually see the inventory and then you can book it right away. It used to be you had to call and do all kinds of stuff, and it was more expensive as well. So I view owning Worldmark / Club Wyndham like having a luxury RV with high gas mileage. So you can drive across the country in your car, stay at Club Wyndham or Worldmark. And I actually did this for a trip to Ohio. I drove through started in California, drove through Southern California into Arizona, across through Missouri to Ohio, and then on the way back, I went through Illinois, Colorado, and then Utah, and back to California. So I've actually done it. So not just a theoretic thing. So I love having all the locations and all the benefits that go with that. So there's more locations. Next up, I'm going to talk about Vacasa in a little more detail about Club Pass. So Vacasa is kind of like Airbnb, and it's using your Wyndham Rewards points, which are the sort of hotel points or your credit card points. So it's a separate set of points. It's not the actual credits that you have from the timeshare itself, but more based off the credit cards. And you get for 15,000 points per night per bedroom. So give you an idea what that means. It allows you to book timeshares in many locations with Wyndham Rewards points. I have done this in Hawaii, Napa, New Orleans, and many other places. I even did a last minute special. I was able to get something in Hawaii on the beach the week right before the Ironman triathlon. The fact that there was availability and I was able to pull it off is just amazing. So always I use my credit card to book my maintenance fees. And again, these nights stays are often worth $400 a night, particularly in Hawaii. I can't say that they're always worth $400 a night, but certainly in Napa, if you try to rent the same thing, it's $350 to $400. In Hawaii, it's similar. So I guess the general sales presentation is worth 30,000 points. So one sales presentation, when you actually, instead of taking the $150 or $100 credit voucher, take the points, then you end up with effectively $800 worth of stay. So I'm not saying you should do all the, take them, but if you do take it, I always take the points. And then Club Pass, I mentioned the $49 per reservation. So it's not the number of days, it's any reservation. So if I spent a week in Nashville, stayed at the Club Wyndham, there was another $49. So it still makes it very cost effective. I'll go into the cost here in a little bit. And again, they're adding new features. and services to the systems like that. This one right here was one of those that was added that used to not be available. So there's upgrades happening to the site. I'm really happy with the Wyndham and Worldmark, as they now have one set of systems for both Worldmark and Club Wyndham. Okay, let's talk about low cost. It matters to me, probably matters to a lot of people. So Worldmark costs less than half of what Marriott costs for a weekly stay, and about 15% less than Hilton. So it's definitely the value-based low-cost solution. And my cost, this is based on taking my maintenance fees needed for a stay. So how many points does it take for an average stay, and then dividing that by 7, I get the sort of nightly costs I list below. And I'm doing the studio 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom. And I want you to compare this to, even if you could get an availability at a hotel, how this compares in cost. And I think you'll see that it's definitely low cost. For example, let's look at the studio, which is traditionally what you would call a hotel, but often you have a full kitchen in these. So high season is $85, mid-season is $71, and low season is $43. So finding a hotel at that price point is actually quite difficult, certainly in a high season. I can't imagine you being able to get a studio, even a regular hotel room, when you have to, and then you would have to buy food outside, whereas you still have usually some ability within almost all the Worldmarks for cooking, even if it's just a cooktop. 1-bedroom, so if you can even get that, high season at $113, $99 mid-season, and $71. Good luck getting a hotel for those prices, let alone a 1-bedroom. So you can see at an ongoing cost, once you've made the purchase, there's quite a bit. And then 2-bedroom, again, I don't even know where you can get, maybe it's 2 rooms, maybe counted as 2 rooms. And you can see at $142 for a high season 2-bedroom. And I think that's even a high season in Hawaii. So $142 a night for a 2-bedroom in Hawaii would be unbelievable. And $113 mid-season, and Hawaii there is no mid-season, and low season is $85, which is pretty amazing. You can get some great deals there. Anyway, so that's why I call it low cost, and it's one of the reasons I love my Worldmark Club Wyndham. Okay, let's talk about Monday Madness and inventory specials. So Monday Madness, that happens every Monday, and it's kind of a select group, and it moves around the country, and pretty much every section is included. It doesn't necessarily change the availability, so it doesn't necessarily guarantee anything, but you're allowed to book out 11 months in advance, and you use 9 cents a credit, which is actually similar to maintenance fees. So if you don't want to buy extra points, you can actually use Monday Madness at all levels. It includes any housekeeping tokens as well. So that's a really good deal, booking out 11 months. It's not quite as good as the 13 months that you can do with your regular points, but in many cases, except for those very few ones like Hawaii that are very difficult to book, it's not a bad option. And then the list changes every Monday. So that's what Monday Madness is. It's kind of cool. And then the inventory specials is kind of the last minute specials, usually it's within 90 days. And the minimum is $80 a night minimum. And they were 8.5 cents, so it's a little bit cheaper, below typical maintenance. And here's my secret. I'll even do this with Monday Madness or inventory specials, even though I listed under inventory specials. I'll book the weekend with the inventory special, and then I'll book the week with my credits. So 40% of the points required is usually on Friday and Saturday, and then 60% is. But when I use my credits, I'm not limited to I'm not have to pay 80. So usually my cost is closer to 45 during the week, and then I pay the 80 minimum, which would be actually less points during inventory special, would be less cost. So I end up with stretching my points, so I can usually get 40% more if I book more in the low end, particularly not at less desirable locations, but there's a lot of less desirable places that I love to go, so it doesn't cause a problem for me. So that's a way you can actually work the system and not have to pay premium, buy and all the cash up front. You just can use this inventory special and Monday Madness to stretch your ownership further than you would by having to pay for the points. So my last topic is hotels, exchanges, etc. My favorite is the RCI, because I book last minute specials typically, and those are $400 for a week. and you have to book 45 in advance. And there's no points required here. You just have to pay the exchange fee, and it varies based on the studio, 1 bedroom, but it's usually under $400. I do get status with Wyndham hotels. I haven't found that to be a significant benefit. So Wyndham hotels are typically budget hotels like Super 8, Travelodge, and those kind of things. I do get a discount with them. The other thing I have, and I actually have one right now going on, owner events. I have the special events, and you pay, I think mine is like $349, and I get 3 days and 2 nights, or maybe it's 4 days, 3 nights. And I've done it with a concert where I've got a dinner included. There's go to I did Melissa Etheridge concert, and plus I get 2 nights, 3 nights stay. They're good for cooking classes, wine tours. I'm going to do a wine tour, but probably in the Napa Valley area for a weekend. You do have to attend a presentation. So I like the owner events because I meet other owners and swap stories and so forth. And then the last thing is you have travel services. You can use your points, or credits, I should say, from a Worldmark perspective to book airfare and so forth. I usually don't do those. I typically find it cheaper to use cash or my travel cards and stuff like that. But anyway, hope you like this. This is why I like Worldmark and Club Wyndham. Please don't forget to give it a like, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe.